algorithm. So now the second thing, it is a flow chart. Flow chart, it is a diagrammatic or pictorial representation of an algorithm. Means through algorithm you can generate a flow chart. So there are some advantages of your flow chart. Since it is a pictorial representation, it can be understood very easily. See, suppose I am showing you PPT, right? It is a pictorial one. It has some graphical user interface. If I am not sharing this PPT with you and only I am talking with you, you will get bored. Okay, so if there is a pictorial representation, you can understand very easily. Then second is process and data flow can be easily traced for all the possible cases. It is easily traced. Then it is a language independent and hence it is a general purpose tool. There is no language dependency over here in the flowchart. Then branching and looping can be easily depicted. Means we will overcoming these disadvantages of algorithm over here, that we can show branching and looping over here. Then it is very easy to write a program from the flowchart. If you are writing, if you have your flowchart is ready, then through the flowchart it is very easy to write your program. Okay. Then there are some disadvantages also. Very often a flowchart becomes very lengthy and runs into pages because we have to draw something. Okay, so it becomes lengthy for the complex problems. Okay, then modifying a flowchart, it is very difficult. Means suppose we have drawn for 3 pages, we have wasted 3 pages for to draw the algorithm, to draw the flowchart, and if there some changes occur, okay, then it is very difficult to rework. For that you have to again draw the 3 pages, so it is very time consuming process. Okay, so if there are advantages, there are disadvantages also. So we are going to see some flowchart notations that we are going to see. So there are some symbols and name given over here that I am going to explain you. First symbol, see, it is known as terminal. For start and stop of the process, the terminal symbol is used. Then second, process name. It contains an arithmetic or assignment task. You have to write, suppose, arithmetic operation, or you have to write some assignment task. Then you can write it into this rectangular box. Then next is third one, input or output symbol. So suppose you have to write or indicate the input or output of the flowchart, then you have to write it into this symbol. Then fourth symbol is decision. So if you want to add some condition, or if you have 2 or more alternatives, then you can write, you can use this symbol. Then next is module call, used for calling an external module. Suppose we are using external module, okay, then this symbol you can use. Then next is connector symbol. If you want to connect flow lines, or if you want to connect, use to show the continuity of the flow chart on the separate pages, right? Your first page is over and then you have to use another page. So you can use this connector and you can write the name or put the name over there. Suppose I have written capital A, then for second page I will write it again capital A, and I will write the flowchart, right? So this is your connector. Then flow lines we can show. So if you want to show the direction of the flow, these flow lines you can use. Okay, and you can show the arrow. Arrow indicates the direction of that flow. For example, suppose we have seen algorithm of this program. Now we are going to see the flow chart of the same program. Okay, so what is this? We have to again find out the area of the circle, right? So first symbol, that is a start symbol, right? Terminal, you can see over here, it is a rounded rectangle, right? And we have mentioned the start over there. After that we have to show the input, that is accept radius r. Okay, then we have to do some arithmetic operation. So we have used simple rectangle over here, that is area is equal to pi r square. So we know the value of pi, that is 3.142 into r. Then next we have to show the output. So we again use the input output symbol, and we have written over there display area. Then next step is, again for stop we use the terminal, because terminal is used for start and stop of the process. Okay, so this is your basic example of your area of circle. Okay, then next flowchart we are going to see, that is for number which we have to check whether it is positive or negative. So again we have to give the symbol, start symbol, in a rounded bracket. Then we have to accept a number n, right? So this is your input symbol we have written over here. Then we have to check the condition. So for condition we have used the decision symbol. See, if n is greater than 0, so there are two arrows. If yes, then it will go further. If no, it will go right side. Getting? So if n is greater than 0, yes, we should write yes or no, okay, over the symbol. Then if the number n is greater than 0, then what we have to print? That output, the number is positive, right? So it will return into the input output symbol. After that, if n is greater than 0, if it is no, then the number n is negative, right? And both the process, they are going to stop after printing, after giving the output. So again we use the terminal symbol, that is stop. Okay, now we are going to see the pseudocode. What is pseudocode? Pseudocodes, it is a mixture of program like code and English statements. It has a structure similar to the program, but it is more informal. For example, pseudocode to check if number is even or odd. Okay, so we have writing the pseudocode. See, begin, input number. If number mod 2 equal to 0, then output number is even, else output number is odd, end. This is a pseudocode. So you can, if you read and if you compare with the flowchart, okay, you can see over here there is a more English statements come under the pseudocode. Okay, so this is example of your pseudocode. It is a intermediate, so there are some advantages that we are going to see over here. Pseudocode, it is an alternative between the algorithm and the program. So process and data flow, it can be easily traced and easier to show the branching and iteration, that is looping, and it is precise, clear. Then programming language elements can be used in pseudocode, and it is easier to write a program from the pseudocode. These are the advantages of your pseudocode. Now we are going to see the programming languages as the tool. So various programming languages are there. Computer languages, low level, then high level. Under low level, again there are some languages, that is machine language and assembly language. So the programming languages can be used as a tool for solving the problems using computers. So computer language, it is a tool for communicating with the computer. So a program consists of set of instructions to the computer, and the type of the computer languages are shown in the diagram. So first of all, we are going to see the low level language. So these languages were the earliest languages developed. Under this category, we have to mention the machine language and the assembly language. So what is machine language? Machine language, it is made up of digital electronic circuits, and it can be only to understand the binary logic, that is in the form of zeros and ones. So hence, in order to communicate with the computer, the program have to be written in zeros and ones, that is in the binary format. So everything, whatever we have to give the instruction, suppose I have to write the code for addition of the two numbers, then I have to write the code for that add instruction in zeros and ones previously. So it is your machine language. But the problem is in this using this machine language is what? It is very difficult to understand. Imagine that you have written, you have to write a code to calculate the area of the circle, right? And everything, it is in zeros and ones. So it is not easy to understand. It is not easy to write the code easily, right? Because everything, if it is zeros and ones, we get confused. Okay. So after that, so these are the advantages and disadvantages. Advantages are there. What? Computer hardware can understand a program written in binary execution. It is very fast because there is no conversion. Directly we can give the input and we will get output easily. There is no need to translate the program into binary because actually it is in the binary format itself. Then what are the disadvantages? Writing the program in binary, it is very difficult. Debugging is very difficult. Suppose there is a mistake, by mistake, if in a program I write 1 instead of 0, it is very difficult for debugging. How I can find out the error? Okay, so it is difficult to understand program logic by looking at the program. If it is an expert one, then only he can write the program. Okay, then it is a machine dependent, so we have to consider this aspect also. Then after that, assembly language comes. This language, it is developed in 1950 and removed disadvantages of the machine languages. Why? Because we use some English words, we called it as mnemonics for the instruction. For example, add, subtract. Okay, so there are advantages also, that writing program, it is easier in machine language. Errors get minimized. Identification of errors, that is debugging, is easy. Then there is a distinction between the instruction and the data, so programs can be easily understood. There are some disadvantages advantages also, because of computer does not understand the symbolic language. We have to convert it into machine language, that is in the form of zeros and ones. So a special software called assembler, which is needed to translate the assembly code into machine code, and execution becomes slower because we have to translate it. Then comes higher level languages. Higher level languages, they are developed to remove the disadvantages of the low level languages. So the earliest high level languages were developed in 1960, and these languages are more English like and contain variety of instructions and data types, so that programming becomes easier. For example, Fortran was there, Pascal, COBOL, now Java is there. Okay, so these are the high level languages. And advantages are use English like words for the instruction, so support multiple data types like character, integers, real numbers. Then they are hardware independent instruction set, there is no dependency. Then easier to write and debug the programs in high level languages. Disadvantage is what? Programs have to be converted from the high level to machine language using special software called compiler or interpreter. Okay. Thank you, all of you.